Okay, so this perfectly short video, we're going to appreciate how to cut out your patterns from a commercial pattern. Okay, your pattern pieces. So you have, of course, your commercial pattern that you purchased for your project. You know, the pattern has three components. The envelope itself, you have your pattern pieces, which will be folded up, these tissue sheets that have the shapes of the templates you need to make your garment, and you have your guide sheet. You could put the guide sheet away for now. I don't think we need it right now for this. Some sewers use it. I think to keep it simple, put this away until your sewing starts. There's a way to use this guide sheet for cutting out, but for a beginner to intermediate level, don't hurt your head. Okay, so we're gonna appreciate your pattern pieces right now. So you need, of course, your commercial pattern, a highlighter, and dressmaker shears. Now this is paper, but it's tissue paper. It's very fine. So a paper scissors, I don't think they are made nice enough to cut this out. It's hard to explain it, but it doesn't cut as nice as the shears. The shears they're so tight, like the blades. When you even cut, you could feel they're sliding so snug together. You know, I think it gives a better cut with this. So we're gonna use a dressmaker shears. This is very fine. It's not gonna damage your shears. Okay, this type of paper is okay. So we want to figure out which shapes we're going to cut out. So you see here, this is a multi-size pattern. A lot of stuff happening. One of the first things we do, you press your sheet with all your pattern shapes on it. Run the iron over this, a dry iron. Okay. If you have steam in the iron, water is going to damage your paper. It's going to, you risk the actual shape you need getting damaged, and once that's torn, you have to discard it. Okay. So not everything here you need for your project. Now, no, this is an incomplete pattern. This is used already from a student, by a student. So this is not 100% the full process. You will have much more sheets, big sheets, maybe 3 times this size that you have to handle. Don't stress out about it. All you do, first off the bat, you know what style you chose. You know you chose, let's say it's style A. Okay? So that's this here. Okay? We have 2 colors here. It's just showing you a slight variation. You have a little trim or no trim. Okay? But it's the same thing. Just different color on the envelope. Alright? So, what you do, what I recommend students do, wherever you see A, let me show you. Wherever you see, the camera can see it. A, you can see A here, right? You circle. You circle. So you have your patterns on the floor all laid out. If you need to run an iron over it, wherever you see, you circle. So for style A here, if you can see here, but I'm circling the name of the pattern and A. Okay, wherever you see A. Front. Oh, I made a mistake here. Okay. Front A. No, it's no mistake. We're good. Okay, so front A. Okay, now I was about to make a mistake because we have front A, front A. Okay, these are 2. Looks very similar, but it's different. Okay, how it's different? These are the same shapes. Okay, but you cut for your size. Now this pattern fits size 8 to 18. You already determine your size, and you're only going to focus on the shapes that have your size multi-sized in it. Okay, when I say multi-sized, so we have here 3 sizes. You have to know this shape has your size. Let's say making a size 8. This is not a size 8 here. This is size 14 to 18. So you ignore this one. Okay? So I'm not going to circle A for this one. Okay? Like I did for this because I have size 8 in here. This is size 8. Alright. So now we make believe line. You did this for every single sheet that you have in your envelope. Alright? Now you're going to focus on the size. Okay? So wherever you see size 8 for your circled, I'll just lift it up for a second. For your circle shape, okay, you have the circle in there. You're gonna now go around. Now, I'm gonna ignore these ones. I did iron this one here. So I'm going to focus on this one. This one I ironed this section of the paper. It's a little easier to appreciate. Camera's in a funny angle, but hopefully you appreciate it a little bit, okay? I'm gonna actually give it a rough cut just so I can manipulate the paper a little easier. Rough cut is your best friend for this task. You do not have to cut perfect for a commercial pattern cutout, okay? Not for this stage, okay? Do not have to cut perfect. Okay, so a rough cut. So size 8. So wherever we see size 8, I should move this down. No, it's okay, I'll leave it here. Wherever we see size 8, we're gonna highlight. So 8, I'm gonna highlight the line for 8. I'm gonna bring it to the camera up close, so be careful. And notice what type of line. I'm gonna freeze there. What type of line you're looking at. This is the smallest dash line. Let me move that. Show you it instead. I'm tracing the smallest dashed, okay? Not the chunkier one, because that's the smallest size. As you go up in size, your line pattern changes. That's very helpful. It helps you to make sure you are actually marking and cutting out the right shape, because that pattern goes and it's the same consistency all around your pattern pieces here. That size will always have that pattern at the cutting line. So I'm following the size 8 with my highlighter, because my highlighter is going to show me where to cut. When I'm cutting, it's easy to make mistakes. This is why you highlight your size. You don't want to cut the wrong pattern out by mistake. Also with the highlighter, we're going to know where our notches are, and we're going to mark them out. Some sewers they mark the notches in. For a beginner sewer, we don't do that. So now where you have one line, it's not multi-size. You cut there where the solid line is. If you want to, you could of course mark there too. It's not going to hurt you. It's not perfect. I'm a little off the line. No big deal. Not a big deal. Okay, so make-believe line, we traced out the sizes for all of the pattern shapes we need to make our chosen style or our view. We're doing view A or style A. Okay, now it's time to cut. I am not going to cut perfectly here on the line. If you have time, if you're watching your favorite TV show, you cut on your line perfectly. You can. You can make your life easier if you cut a little rough at this stage, all your shapes out, and you perfect your cutting when it's pinned to your fabric. I think that's a better use of your time. So we're gonna do a cut. I'm not gonna rush, but I'm not gonna be trying to go on the line exactly. Even this center line, I can even fold this line and not even have to cut it perfect. I'm gonna show you what I mean by that. So I'm gonna cutting your table. I'm gonna cut right outside. Let's say a 1/4 inch away from my highlighter. A 1/4 inch or 1/2 centimeter. Okay. You do this for all of your shapes. If you're cutting on your cutting line precisely, you're gonna be cutting a little longer. Skip one thing here, guys. I'm sorry. When you have a notch, I recommend you mark it out right away so you don't risk cutting that off. Okay, you need your notches, especially for this type of project. You need your notches. Okay, because if you're doing a good commercial pattern as a student, you never did this particular garment with your teacher, so you need every little guide you can have to not have any drama when you're assembling your notches. We know that they help us to have that confidence that we're on the right track. So I'll do this one up close. We're cutting like a 1/4 inch away from the pink line. Okay, do this for all the shapes have your size and that have your style. For me, it's style A. Okay? This is how we cut out our pattern pieces from a commercial pattern. I hope it helps.